Corncob jelly was one of those things where I didn't know it would be worth the effort. I did a poll on Instagram to see if corncob jelly was worth all the fuss, and it wasn't very common. No one had really made it before, and it kind of sounds like it might be gross. So I found a recipe in an old cookbook. I'll show you all here in a little bit. But I made it. It didn't take much time. It was just kind of a fun little project, and it actually turned out really good. And it tastes like summertime. So this is just a fun little recipe. It didn't take me long to fix it up at all. So it's just something fun I wanted to try. Just a different way to use up corn cob. You'll need 12 corn cobs. Just cover them in water and set it to boil for 30 minutes. And then strain it with a metal strainer into a measuring cup. And for this recipe, we're going to use 3 cups of the corn liquid. So first, I'm just going to pour it into a little stock pot. This is the recipe for the corncob jelly from a cookbook called the Foxfire Book of Appalachian Cookery. I actually bought this book at a used bookstore, but they have it on Amazon. I'll put the link in the description. Now to the 3 cups of liquid, we're going to add a box of SureJell. It's powdered pectin. And we're just going to stir it up to dissolve it. And we're going to turn on the heat now. And then we're going to bring this mixture up to a boil. And meanwhile, while this is dissolving and coming up to heat, I'm going to have my water bath canner with the half-pint jars loaded already, and they're going to be heating. All right, once the pectin and the liquid come to a boil, we're going to add 3 cups of sugar. And then just stir that all together to dissolve and let it come back to a boil, and then let it boil for exactly 1 minute. Okay, during the minute that this liquid is boiling, I'm going to go ahead and get my jars out of the canner, so I'll be ready to spoon the jelly into the jars. And the timers went off here, so I'm going to take the jelly and set it off of the heat and give it a good stir, and then we're going to start packing jars here in just a second. Okay, now I've got the cannon funnel on top of the jars, and I'm going to start spooning the hot jelly into the jars. And it turns out that I'm going to need 5 half pints for this recipe. So I'm just going to fill them all at once. And then here in a minute, I'll come back and wipe the rims and then attach the lids and the bands. Now I'm going to wipe around each rim and attach the lid. And then one by one, they're going to go back into the canner, into the hot boiling water. And I'm just going to screw on the lids fingertip tight. I'm just making sure they're all on good here. And we're wanting to leave a 1/4 inch headspace as well. We're going to set the timer for 10 minutes. And then once that time is up, just remove the lid and let the boil die down a little bit, and then remove the jars. Now this turned out way better than I thought it would. It had a wonderful taste to it. People have asked me how I've planned to use this, and I guess just on a nice warm biscuit. That was surprisingly good. it was a fun adventure to make something out of something we would have just thrown away anyway.